Hey everyone!
Hello.
Welcome back! If you listened to our first episode and are back again, thanks for coming back. We're so excited. We're gonna actually do some digging in on our stuff this week.
Correctamundo.
Even though we were very happy with our first episode, we definitely made a note of a couple of things to change and make better to try and make the best possible podcast experience for you guys. So just putting that out there. So thanks for listening.
True. We have a sound booth made with poster board and felt pads.
Yeah, we're innovation that excites though.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna jump right into it.
Cool.
Here we go.
Center stage?
Yes. Center stage. Do you want to go first? Yep.
Nah, the British accent gives you the pass. You go first.
Cool. I'll do news and then my news. You know what I mean? There's a lot more news than this, obviously, but this is some of news I've seen, so you're welcome.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Well, first of all, Coachella finished last weekend. A lot of people went to that, performed at that. Some performances I noted were Charlie XCX's performance. Slayed. But the end of the weekend, too, I don't know if you saw.
I did not.
She basically had, this moment where she put on the screen, Brad Summer's, officially over.
Breaking hearts worldwide.
Yeah. But it could be other people's summers. And she basically put a whole bunch of other performers and bands and stuff.
That is nice of
To
her.
promote their stuff. So, Icon, Charlie XCX, we love you. Megan Thee Stallion brought out Queen Latifah, weekend 1.
Wild.
Period.
Did not know about that.
Yes. Love Megan, though. And Gaga.
Not Queen Latifah.
Well, no, love both of them. But, love Megan for bringing out Queen Latifah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, come on. And Gaga's performance, Icon, duh.
Abracadabra.
It was an hour
Ooh la la.
of just constant diaphragmatic breathing and breath support. And vocals brought on by Gaga.
Sweet.
Along with 8 outfit changes. And it was Abracadabra into Judas for me. Also, another Coachella note. On weekend 1, Benson Boone. I don't listen to his music. The only thing I know about him is that he flips. He wears 70s outfits. And he says, I want you, I need you, oh God.
Oh, that guy?
Guess what?
What?
He started playing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He gets a pass now.
I think he did better than what I would have expected.
I thought you were going to say better than Queen. I was like, excuse me?
I will never ever say that.
Okay, good.
Okay, well, he brought out Brian May for the guitar solo.
That's tough.
And no one cared. And I would have been dying.
So would I. The dude's also an astronomer. Fun fact.
He's an astrophysicist.
Yeah, that's just gnarly.
Guys, I am a lover of Brian May. Brian May, if you're out there, love you, dude. I personally think he should have just sang it once.
Yeah.
With Brian there, and that's it. But he sang it a second time for weekend 2, obviously, and he had a cardboard cutout of Brian, which was funny. I just think it would have been more iconic if he just did it that one time, left it alone, sing another iconic song for weekend 2. But whatever.
Yeah. I would also like to mention that is the only Benson Boone song I know. The one that you riffed.
This one, he's releasing a new song this week, and I actually like the sound of it a lot. But he also announced his new album, weekend 1, I think. And it's about his love for America or something like that.
Well, he's a patriot now.
Yeah.
I can't disagree with him now.
I hope his tour has a 3-hour finale.
To the tune of Star Spangled Banner, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. If you got that reference, you're a real one. A couple of weeks ago, Selena Gomez and her boo came out with an album. I'm forgetting his name right now. And that basically sums up the album,
isn't
though.
it Benny Blanco?
Yes, there we go.
Sweet.
I only listened to it once and I did not like it. Tate McRae announced a collab with Morgan Wallen, and she's getting a lot of backlash for it. And I support her in getting that backlash. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
You support the backlash or her?
The backlash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sabrina Carpenter, a couple weeks ago, finished her European leg of her short and sweet tour. We won't see her back again until October, which is criminal, but whatever.
Yeah. The UK, tore her apart for being sexual, right?
I don't know, and I think it's so silly because as a parent, I'm not a parent, guys, but I'm trying to think like a parent. I would look up who my kids are listening to before I send them to a concert and realize that it's inappropriate. I think that's crazy, and it's the parent's fault. So, crazy either way. A couple of weeks ago, Olivia Rodrigo, she just finished her Guts Spilled World Tour in Brazil? It was the South American leg. She performed for some of the biggest crowds she's ever performed for to date. So, good for her.
And then she went to Mexico.
She did.
I thought it was like she posted about performing in Mexico.
Oh,
And
yes.
Brazil was like, hey, where are we, man?
Oh, yeah. She mentioned Brazil in like an Instagram comment, but then she was like, it was my first time ever performing in Mexico. You're so right. Dang. Let's go, Mike.
Woo!
Kendrick and SZA started their Grand National Tour. 8 acts, 53 songs.
Brutal, but
Crazy.
sick.
Tracklist goes hard. Am I upset that Normal Girl by SZA isn't on there? Yes, I am. It's fine. Anyway.
SZA was one of my songs of the summer last year. Saturn was stuck in my head so badly.
Nice.
And then, is it Midnight Run by Miley Cyrus?
The midnight sky's the
Yeah, that one.
I'm taking.
That one was also stuck in my head all summer. I was like speeding on the
Isn't it
highway.
like the midnight sky?
Probably.
Oh my gosh.
I was
Unsaved.
speeding within reason. I was
Nice.
going like 5 over.
Cool. I think you showed it to me one time when.
Yes, that was last summer.
Yeah, I downloaded it on my phone because of him. Let's go.
Woo!
Doechii came out with a music video for her song Anxiety, and I just think it was really good. So go
That-
watch that.
Was that the one she posted on Instagram where the window breaks for
Yes.
the like trailer?
Yes.
All right, cool.
So good. The world seems to be pretty 50-50, but Addison Rae dropped another song, and her album is coming out in June. Now.
I forget the name of the song.
It's like headphones on or something.
Yes. Okay. I heard about it, but I haven't heard it.
I liked Addison Rae as like a TikToker. Cutie dances, Pretty Woman, great. She doesn't seem like she genuinely cares about music. Number one, because when she came out on stage, weekend 2 of Coachella with Charlie, she sounded terrible. I don't think she actually cares about music at all. Now, Diet Pepsi, great song. So, I don't know if that's
We are
her.
lighting her up.
I don't know if
today.
that's her or if that's her team or whatever. So, if I like her music, I'm trying not to like think about it coming from her.
I mean, you're truly
Addison
you're
Rae.
dogging this lady.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to note that right now because I do want to know, like, I want to listen to her album when it comes out and I want to like it, but she just seems not genuinely into it. I don't know. Okay, moving on. Last thing, Katy Perry went to space like 2 weeks ago.
Boo.
I think that was super duper silly.
I
That was
agree.
like 3 super dupers.
She also kissed the ground when she landed.
She was in the thing for like a total of 11 minutes, but she was in the sky for only 8 or something.
Yeah.
How many, like,
I forget.
millions of dollars.
I saw it on Instagram and it was like the biggest Chad moment was Jeff Bezos sending women into space just for publicity and not to make history.
Yeah.
Especially like women that aren't astronauts.
Yeah. I don't know if I would feel differently if I liked her music right now, but I also don't like her music right now. It sounds very anti-feminist to me.
It's never been the same since California Girls.
For real. You're so real for that. And that's my world news. For me currently, I split up my currently listening and watching. So, watching wise, other than Kiki's for the pod, I actually didn't watch any movies that were really of note that I can remember right now.
Whack. That's whack.
These are not movies, obviously, but the shows. Handmaid's Tale came out with new episodes, so I have been watching those.
I have not watched that at all.
It's almost done, and I just need it to be over. And I swear if it ends on another cliffhanger, or if it's not actually over, or if everybody dies, I'm gonna be pissed.
They're gonna wake up in a simulation like it's the Matrix.
That would suck. That would suck. Do not manifest that for me, please and thank you.
I'm not.
And then I also watched Outer Banks season 4. For some reason,
I
something
never
came
watched
over me.
season 1.
All like the girly pop stuff that came out, for some reason, Outer Banks was ranked higher. So I loved Outer Banks. I did something terrible though, guys. Something crazy happened, and I thought to myself, okay, someone could actually die. So let me Google to see if anyone dies. Because sometimes I do that to stop myself from the heartbreak.
Spoiler fool.
Stop. I sorry. No.
So evil.
Sometimes I have to stop myself in the heartbreak.
That's like the best part when it happens.
No, it wasn't, because spoilers so bad for Outer Banks season 4. JJ. Okay?
All right.
JJ dies by his own father, who he found out he was his father after his supposedly real father was like, actually, I'm not your father. This is your father. And then bro kills him.
This is like teenage soap operas.
There's not a lot of context with that, obviously, but it was heartbreaking and I am pissed. And I found that out 3 episodes before the finale, and oh my god. I am not the same, guys.
That reminds me of when I was watching season 4 of Succession, and it's been out for a while now, but spoilers anyway. I had Logan Roy's death spoiled for me
Dang.
by a Instagram post.
Oof.
And it was like Google's trending searches or something. And it was like, Logan Roy dead at 84. And I was like, come on, man. Like,
That sucks.
and it was like 2 hours after I had finished my most recent class at school. And I was like getting ready to wind down and watch the episode. And I was like, no.
That sucks.
I was on a ward pass after that.
Yeah. I would be too. Moving on to what I'm listening to. I think it's funny that we started this podcast right when I was only listening to Gaga's Mayhem, her newest album. And if we were recording this a month ago, that would be the only thing I'd be pushing for you guys. I'd be like, just go listen to Mayhem, and then I'd be done. But in general, like, once I listen to an album over and over again so many times that I know all the words and the lore, and I watch all the interviews and performances. I watched both weekends of Coachella because, oh my god. After that, it becomes part of my daily listening, and I'm comfortable with just putting all those songs in my like daily shuffle. So I love Mayhem, and we'll definitely do a spotlight on that album, I hope.
For sure.
Yeah. But I'm actually in a transitional phase right now, because now when I listen to Mayhem, there's some songs that I really love, and some songs I'm like, all right, I just want to skip it right now. So that just makes me slowly stop listening to just the album. So right now I'm transitioning. I'm trying to figure out what I want to listen to next. I'm going through things I've already downloaded on my phone and maybe haven't been listening to fully yet. So I'm testing the waters to see if I want to like it. Like Frank Ocean's Blonde, I've had that downloaded on my phone for a while. Haven't really tapped into it. So I've been kind of going back and listening to some of those songs. A song that's viral on TikTok right now is Someone to Call My Lover by Janet Jackson. It has the guitar riff from Ventura Highway in it. Great. We should listen to it after this. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just listening to a bunch of random stuff.
Cool.
What's your news for me, Mike?
So I've got movie world updates for Center Stage today. One was announced like 3 hours before the show.
Woo!
The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel title was announced, and it's called The Continuing Adventures of Cliff Booth. Do you know what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is?
I know that it's a movie.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah, that's
set
what...
in the late 60s with Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I know that name.
It's a very good movie.
I'm pretty sure that I had a friend that really enjoyed that movie. So
It's me. I really
other
enjoy
than
that.
you, but yes, you.
Dang.
You're more important. You're more important.
They initially announced the movie on April 1st. So, like, everyone thought it was a joke. Because it's not being directed by Quentin Tarantino. It's being directed by David Fincher, who's also, like, a big-name director.
Okay, David.
Yeah, he did Seven, Zodiac, Social Network, and Gone Girl. He's done a couple other recent movies, like The Killer on Netflix, which I still have to watch, but I've heard it's pretty decent. David Fincher, he does typically like crime thrillers and like some drama, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was like, I would say a dramedy technically, because it was like a slice of life kind of movie, where it was like a love letter to Hollywood rather than being a strong narrative driven movie. A bit surprising when I first heard about it, even though it was on like April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Kind of taken aback. I was on the borderline of saying this isn't true, but then
It's April Fool's Day.
But then April 2nd, they said, "Hey, we're not joking." Ta-da!
Nice.
So I'm excited because Cliff Booth is the character played by Brad Pitt, and he won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for the role.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping David Fincher can carry the same energy and tone that Tarantino had.
Nice.
But I saw Sinners yesterday. That just came out.
Haley Steinfeld.
Yes. Just came out on Friday the 18th, so less than a week ago. It is officially the highest grossing original movie for an Easter weekend.
Wow.
The title was previously held by Ready Player One, which came out in like 2018, 2019.
Wow, guys, I've seen that movie. For some reason, I really enjoy it.
I'm going to be the fool that says the book is way better. Sinners made 71 million on opening weekend. International, including domestic. The total production budget was 90 million. It's kind of harking a new era of original movies in theaters. Because most movies these days are like adaptations, reboots, sequels.
Yeah.
And very unoriginal IP enforced projects from major studios. This was like an original movie by Ryan Coogler, who did the Black Panther movies and Creed.
Nice.
And it was very good, in my opinion. I won't spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it yet, but the soundtrack is already on my radar for Best Original Score, because Ludwig Göransson brought it.
Cool.
I can kind of see directing original screenplay and Best Actor for Michael B. Jordan as being potential nominations, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
But pretty exciting, I would say.
Yeah.
Just because I'm tired of having to like wait months on end for a movie that I'm like actually interested in.
Yeah.
So that's that.
I was telling Mike earlier today, because he texted me about it. I, for some reason, love Haley Steinfeld, and I just want her to...
It's Gwen Stacy, man.
She plays Gwen Stacy in the...
Spider-Verse movies.
Really? Wow. As a Pitch Perfect stan, I just want her to succeed. Like, I want her to be... Yes, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense, but for those of you that understand me, that makes sense. So that's all I'm going to say. I just love her. And I hope that she's in the Avengers stuff.
As Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
I think she's part of the Young Avengers lineup.
I think she accidentally teased that she was going to be. Someone was
That wouldn't surprise me. It happens with everybody these days.
in an interview.
Yeah.
On a carpet, they were like, "Are you gonna be in it?" And she nodded her head.
On the topic of Marvel, actually, Thunderbolts had its world premiere last night.
Really, it already came out.
The world premiere for critics, yes. Like press release.
Bitches.
It comes out May 2nd for...
Dang, that's like next week.
It's next Friday. For wide theatrical release. It got generally positive reviews, which is pretty cool. Because Marvel has had a bit of a slow spurt the past few movies.
Yeah.
Like, if you saw Ant-Man Quantumania, you know what I'm talking about. It was kind of slop. Not really for the best.
We love a win for Sebastian and Florence, though.
Brave New World, I didn't even bother. But
Dang.
it looked like Incredible Hulk 2 being masked as a Captain America movie.
I don't know if I said this last week, but I think the movie itself would have been a lot better if they did not tease the plot twist in the commercial.
That he's Red Hulk.
Yeah.
True. But, like, how do you get money without revealing everything to people before they see it?
I don't know. I feel like
They did it with Endgame. You knew nothing going into that, and then it made $3 billion.
true, but I feel like they should have trusted the fact that it's a new era. It's a new Captain America.
Brave New World.
It's a brave new world, and in my opinion, that should have been enough. And it's Anthony Mackie. I love that man.
He is a very good actor. With Thunderbolts, I'm 50-50 on the casting for some of the characters. Like Lewis Pullman as Sentry, I don't see happening, but that was the casting. In Top Gun Maverick, he was Bob, and the way he performed that character, he's like this shy and reserved guy that's not a jacked superhero at all. If he does it well, it's proof that he has range, but I have my doubts.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
It's okay. That's my center stage.
So what are you listening to right now, though?
If you saw the movie Sinners, you know the soundtrack follows you. So, I've been listening to the Sinners soundtrack quite a bit, especially I Lied to You, which is like the big song. For those that have seen the movie, that scene is like the magnum opus for the director. I can't say the other album I've been listening to because it's your assignment, but it is a very good album. I will reveal it towards the end of this episode, and those that know it will go, ooh, that is a good one. But
Cool.
it's related to the Windows Down vibe from the end of last episode.
I'm very excited.
In terms of watching, I caught up on some childhood classics. I watched Treasure Planet,
Nice.
which unfortunately Molly has not, though a Disney stan.
I'm sorry.
It's like from the same time period as Emperor's New Groove in their era of animation.
Yeah,
You better
Yeah.
not say you don't like Emperor's New Groove.
I would like for us to talk about this in a spotlight at some point. But during COVID, I went back and watched a lot of older Walt Disney 2D animation and such. And from that period, I like the princess movies a little bit more. Cusco annoys the crap out of me.
He's supposed to.
I know, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. Guys, you're gonna notice that
He has a learning curve.
yeah. But
It's also the best use of absurdist humor of all time.
it's just annoying. I don't know. You guys are gonna see, and like Mike's gonna see that sometimes I don't love like the system. Like I don't care that he's supposed to not be likable. I just don't like him.
Okay.
That's just how it is. I'm sorry. I like Kronk's New Groove a lot.
That's fair, I guess.
Um,
I haven't watched Kronk's New Groove.
And I love the premise of Emperor's New Groove, and I will watch it.
But Sting did the credits.
And go Sting. I support him in that. I'm not saying that like I hate it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, the only thing I've been hating on thus far has been Katy Perry and Addison Rae. I'd like to keep it like that. Not Emperor's New Groove. So,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, if you hate on Treasure Planet when you get around to watching it, we'll have other problems, but we'll get to that when it comes.
I would totally watch it when prompted.
What if I told you that Treasure Planet has a song performed by Goo Goo Dolls lead singer John Resnick, and it's like the best song in the movie?
What if I just went and listened to that song instead of watching the movie?
You wouldn't have the context, Molly.
We could just watch it together.
We're recording.
Well, not right now. Bro. Yes, guys, this is actually a plot twist. We are going to watch Treasure
We're gonna
Planet.
do Treasure Planet ASMR for 90 minutes.
Yeah, we hope you're free for that. Much time. So we're gonna move on to learn more about everything about our top 5 this week.
This week, we are going to be discussing our top 5 Harry Potter characters.
Yay!
The top 5 Harry Potter characters will be in regards to the movies explicitly, not the books. There are a lot of characters mentioned in the books that aren't in the movies.
And
Plus, I haven't read them.
yeah,
But I've watched the movies because I like movies.
dude, this was tough.
It was. There's so many lovable characters. I have 3 honorable mentions.
I wrote in my notes, Molly, talk to Mike about how difficult this is. Like, all rankings are going to be. Even doing a top 10 for this would be crazy, but I'm just hoping that Mike has some people in his list that I don't have, because that'll be my list by extension, and then we'll be okay.
So I will start with honorable mentions.
Cool.
I feel like we can go deeper on this because there's a lot of characters to cover.
True.
So, like, because it's difficult, we have a little bit more leniency with how to discuss it.
Cool.
So my first honorable mention was Luna Lovegood. Why are you giggling, Molly?
Oh my gosh. You'll see why later, Mike.
She's cool.
She's so cool.
I like her quirky, borderline neurodivergent vibe. The Nargles.
Yes. Her and her dad. Little dances.
I mean, her dad's a rat. But
Yeah, for real. Sorry, dude.
I just
get
love
it.
her intro in Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
When she's just on the carriage and she's like, hello. And everyone's
Yes.
like, who are you? She's like this spaced out, kind of hippie-ish,
Yeah.
quirky character. She's a lot of fun.
Queen lost her shoes. I have more to say about her. Her and Neville are so cute.
Neville, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Who's your first honorable mention?
My first honorable mention is Professor Trelawney. I love her. And I think Yes, I think she's so underrated. Emma Thompson.
True.
Oh my gosh, such a well-rounded actress in my opinion. I love her. And I didn't even
Very
know it
true.
was her.
She's
For a
in
very
Treasure
long
Planet.
time. Really?
Yeah.
She
You wouldn't know, but she is.
I will know, Mike. One day I'll listen back on this.
And you'll go, Treasure Planet rules.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I waited this long, Mike.
Exactly. So, I always thought, everyone thought she was weird, and, I thought that people thought of me as weird in school, and she's just doing prophecies and stuff. She's here to teach you about that. Like,
She's
let her
reading
live.
tea leaves like a hero.
I thought it was really important when your girl Umbridge was going to kick her out, and then McGonagall
True.
was like, no, you ain't.
Well, Dumbledore did too.
Yeah, but McGonagall tried first.
Well, yeah.
Dumbledore was locked up in his closet.
And then he
Come
was
on.
like,
In his office.
I still run this place, lady.
Yeah.
And then she was like, not for long. Umbridge is the worst, I guess.
Yeah.
I hate her so much.
Great actress.
I mean, you're supposed to hate her.
Hate her.
But I genuinely despise her.
Yeah. So that's my first honorable mention.
Okay.
Who's your next honorable mention?
Drayhead. It's the shrunken head on the bus in Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh my gosh!
I love him.
Yeah,
It's going to be a bumpy ride. Yeah, he's my second honorable mention. Just 'cause he's got like one-liners, and he's only in the movie for like 5 minutes tops.
I have nothing to say about that other than hell
That's-
yeah.
Okay.
I support you in that.
I was worried for a second.
That's so
I thought
funny.
you were gonna be like, ew.
Oh no! I mean,
It
if
is
I was
funny that you didn't know who it was at first, though.
if I was Harry in the movie, bro would have freaked me out. But I'm not Harry, and I'm not in the
Obviously.
movie. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be a bumpy ride.
That's my second honorable mention.
That's amazing. My second honorable mention, I feel like he's so low on this list, so I'm so sorry for all you Hagrid stans.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
sorry. I actually completely forgot about him when I made my first list, and I announced it to my family, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about your boy. Hagrid. He's such a cutie guy. I do wish that we saw him more. I do wish that we see him more in the movies.
There's
Yeah,
no
I saw.
Hogwarts without him.
I know. And
Do you?
I know, and he didn't. I feel like the other people I have farther up on this list, I've either connected with more, felt their stories more, or they're messed up, and I think that's more interesting than him. Which is actually kind of crazy now that I said that out loud, because of his whole wanting to be a wizard and Aragog, and he is a cute little guy.
Spiders creep me out, but Aragog's cool.
If we're doing like top 3 who we want from Harry Potter to be our best friend, he's definitely on there. But this is
Yeah.
unfortunately not that. So that's why he's there. Love you, Hagrid. Sorry, guys.
So my third honorable mention will get some steam.
So will mine. It's okay.
Well, not steam, but it will get a hot take from many people.
That's Steam.
My third honorable mention is Minerva McGonagall.
I
She's not
actually,
in my top 5, but she was close.
I actually just realized I forgot to put her in my list.
Brutal. I don't feel as bad now.
Oh my gosh, guys! I can't believe it.
I don't feel as bad, but I like her motherly figure as a professor. Like when she's teaching Ron how to dance in Goblet of Fire,
Yes.
or babbling bunch of baboons.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Part of me wonders though if I like her or for Maggie Smith,
True.
which is why maybe that I forgot about her.
I still have to watch Gosford Park with her in it, but that's a different thing.
Top 5.
So I'm gonna start with my number 5, Hagrid.
Okay. Oh my gosh!
Hagrid's my number 5. I consider him to be the fun uncle of Hogwarts. He just loved his animals. Like
Yes.
Buckbeak. Come on. Buckbeak was pretty sweet.
He was.
What's wrong with loving animals? I don't know. But apparently they all had problems when he had a dragon egg, and when he had spiders, and when he had Buckbeak. They were dogging him for having animals, even though he's the groundskeeper and like teaches the animal class.
Yeah, which is so crazy because that world had so many different types of animals.
Correct.
Wouldn't you want to know more about them?
Yeah, the reason he's my number 5, besides that, is the fact that they say there is no Hogwarts without you, Hagrid. It kind of just cements him in the top 5.
Yeah.
But that's my number 5.
No, you're so right for that. Dang it. I feel like you're not going to like mine. My number 5 is Draco.
Draco's sweet.
Okay, cool.
I support that. He's
And
not in my top 5.
Part of it, I don't want people to be like, oh my god, you only like him because he's attractive. Okay, Tom Felton, if you're out there, love you. It was one of those things that I said last time where I like how in the very beginning of the movie, he was like, dude, you want to be friends? Harry was like, no. And then bro was like, I'm going to hate you forever.
truly Syndrome from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
But a wizard.
And with the hair. I love Baby Draco's hair in
The
first
slicked
movie.
blonde
It
hair.
looks so cute. And then when they find out that there's a
Troll in the dungeon.
yes, and he's like, ah, he's so cute. Oh my gosh.
Thought you ought to know.
Yes. And the complex of him living in this scary ass house with a dad who is not nice to him, and that definitely
Well, that's part of his arc, is that he's the kid forced into being evil, but he doesn't really want to be. Like, you can
Yes.
kind of tell towards the end. There was
Okay.
also the deleted scene for Deathly Hallows Part 2
yes.
with him, like, helping Harry get the wand again. And
Very mad about
they
that.
cut it because
Crazy.
they're cowards.
That is crazy. I will say though, even if they kept that in and such, you know, the whole like mudblood situation,
Yeah, that's
I could never
not
excuse
good.
that. So know that even though Draco's on my list and I'm talking about him, he's a cute little guy.
He's kind
just-
of racist.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that if I was in Hogwarts, I would hate his guts. So just in case you're concerned about that, I'm cool. Okay, period.
All right, so my number 4 is technically 2, but it's one collective. It's Fred and George Weasley. As much as Hagrid was kind of comic relief when he's like, I shouldn't have said that for the entire first movie,
For real.
Fred and George are like consistently the comic relief. They're mischievous, but they're well aware of their antics, and that's their reputation, not their schoolwork. They open this shop in Half-Blood Prince with all their trinkets and pranksters stuff,
Yes.
and you gotta support them for that.
They turn their hobbies into a business.
Correct. And they dog Dolores Umbridge with fireworks and scare her to borderline death.
Great score
And then
underneath.
she comes back with the Ministry of Magic, though.
Okay, wait.
Hate her.
We don't need to talk about that though.
Yeah, I know. But they also have some of the best lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
For example, 5 galleons. But I'm your brother. 10 galleons. I think besides the tricking Molly Weasley at the beginning
Queen.
by saying, I'm not actually George, I'm Fred. That part was
He's
funny.
not Fred, I am.
Yeah. My favorite line of theirs is so brief. Goblet of Fire in the tent. Feet off the table.
Didn't you like post that or you
I
sent that to
did
me?
post that.
Yeah. Feet off the table. I love a good twin besties. And you can tell that they both genuinely cared. Yeah. Wow.
Who's your number 4?
My number 4, remembering McGonagall, she probably would have taken this guy's place. I'm going to stay true to what I originally put down. My number 4 is Professor Lupin.
Alright, cool.
So,
I support that.
yeah, I think it kind of made sense for Harry to be more friends with him than... I think it... Oh,
think he should have been friends with Lupin and not Sirius
Well-
Black, even though Sirius Black is his godfather.
no. I think it made more sense for him to bond with Lupin more because Lupin was around more. He was teaching. Sirius wasn't.
Yeah.
Sirius was not around. And
That was also Prisoner of Azkaban, right? Because he's a werewolf.
in Prisoner of Azkaban, because he knew his dad too and everything. Let me reframe this as after Sirius... Spoiler alert! After Sirius Black died, I kind of wish that Lupin was in the picture more again.
Wasn't Lupin the one that grabbed him when Sirius died too?
Yeah, but I'm talking about after that.
Well, I meant
He's like sad.
he's like the immediate support system kind of thing now.
Well, that's because he was there for it to happen.
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah,
afterwards,
yeah.
it just maybe
Yeah.
like him walking Harry wherever home was after that and being like, dude, like, we're still here for
Yeah.
you or whatever. You only see him after that, and really after the third movie, in groups with other people. And I think that it made, spoiler alert again, his death a little less important.
Rude.
As someone who loved the third movie, and I liked him a lot in there. He was so interactive with the kids. I loved what he did with the,
The apparatus.
Yep, thank you. Him
With-
bonding with Harry in there, and then it went to none of those deep talks after that.
Yeah, when the clown turned into a Dementor.
Just go away.
The Dementors were creepy, but I wouldn't say I was scared.
Okay, that makes one of us. I know that I would have wanted Lupin as a teacher a lot.
That's fair.
Guys, I'm confused because I had Snape in my honorable mentions, so I don't know who I said, but just know that love that man as well. I can't excuse the fact that he was pissed off at Harry for things that weren't even his fault and then didn't try and help him for most of the stuff. Granted, he did later on, but whatever. Anyway, Snape was on my list, and I love you, Cedric. Okay, continue.
That was Robert Pattinson's first movie.
King.
Yeah, and then he did Twilight, but
Yeah.
I think Goblet of Fire should have been his breakout role.
Yeah.
So my number 3, Albus Dumbledore. I prefer Michael Gambon as Dumbledore, not Richard Harris. Richard Harris was the first 2 and then he died.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Michael Gambon was the recast. He was definitely the most philosophical professor. He had a lot of wise one-liners that had a lot of deeper meaning than they sounded.
Yeah.
But his most philosophical is, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Yeah, for real.
Calmly, he screamed.
One of his quotes is on the arch of the new Epic Universe entrance.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
When dreaming, we enter a world entirely of our own. The one that he says with Harry. I think it's that one, actually.
He's also just very strategic to the point that he plays it close to his chest and no one even knows. For example,
You think that's a good quality, though?
I love that quality of him. He was playing the long game and no one knew.
And then he died.
For the long game, he died a hero's death, knowing that it would cause the other events to occur. And I think his death was just like the pivot where they were like, all right, let's save Hogwarts right now.
I guess I do think that he should have just been like, Harry, there are Horcruxes. You could also die in all of this. And it's way bigger than all of this. Yeah, I think. Come on. Open communication.
I think he died a hero's death for the greater good, and I'll leave it at that.
The greatest good.
Who's your number 3?
I am your wife. I am the greatest good you are ever going to get.
Cool.
Okay, I support you. I do. My number 3, basic as it may be, Emma Watson lover, Hermione Granger.
Okay.
I always said that I wanted to be the Hermione Granger of Hufflepuff because that's obviously the house that I would be in. I do wish that in the movies, Emma Watson did so good, especially towards the end when shit got real. You could see, even when she didn't have a lot of dialogue,
She obliviated her parents'
she was
dog.
going through it. Strong woman. I do like the remarks that some of the teachers had with her when she would answer questions without being asked and being a cute little know-it-all sometimes. I really liked it in the 6th movie when she couldn't figure out how to make that potion. And then Harry had the book, so he was like, let me pop off real quick. And she was like, what the actual fuck? I thought that was hilarious. I mean, I'd be pissed too, girl. This man don't know nothing. He comes in, does better than me, wins liquid luck. I'd be pissed too. So, you're welcome. One thing about Hermione that I really enjoyed in the movies, obviously, is how she was with each of the boys, like Ron and Harry individually. I love her friendship with Harry and her friendship / relationship with Ron. And I'm not one of those Hermione and Harry girls. Like, I love the scene of them dancing in the sense where that is like true like friendship. I love that level of friendship. I love that. And I also think with the actors having so much chemistry, being in each other's lives for almost their entire lives at that point.
Yeah, from 12 to however old they got.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about Hermione, the carriage just is moving by itself. I hate when she is like, Harry, there's no one speaking. I'm like, girl, let him think that the snake is talking. Anyway.
My number 2, Severus Snape.
I'm glad we get to talk about him again.
My first note in my ranking for him was he was really that bitch when he whipped his robes.
For real.
He was just like, I'm Snape. Everyone's like, ugh. I don't know if it's explicitly mentioned in the books, but I know it is like given his entire backstory in Deathly Hallows Part 2 when he's dying. The fact that he's a double agent for the Death Eaters and a professor. Both sides don't know whose side he's on in the first movie. Like, the kids suspect that he's the bad guy, and then you find out it was Quirrell, and Snape was like doing a counter spell during the Quidditch match.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. But I also enjoyed that he kept Harry in line and like humble about being a wizard.
True.
He was like, your dad was a bad person. Stop being like him. I wouldn't say he whipped him into shape, but he made him aware of his own actions.
Yeah.
With the history of him and Lily Potter. He's arguably the most attached personally as a professor to Harry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he's my number 2. Plus, Alan Rickman's just really good in the role.
Absolutely. When he's crying as he's dying and Harry goes and
Uses
sees...
the sieve.
Yep. That's like one of my favorite scenes. For some reason, it always
Yeah.
gets me.
When you find out it was the Patronus,
Yeah.
you're like,
It's
always.
yes. And I'm not saying that excuses everything. If I was Harry, I'd be feeling so
Yeah.
this or that about it. Like
But
he actually
also,
cared, but he treated me like crap. I don't know.
Snape did keep playing the long game, much like Dumbledore. When he made the death promise in Half-Blood Prince for Draco
Mm-hmm.
with Draco's mom. That's why Snape is my number 2. He's just behind the scenes. He's a strategist, and like Dumbledore was the only one that really knew about it.
I did kind of wish that we found out a little bit earlier how it felt for him to be such an ass. I just wonder if he felt bad every time he was really mean, or if he ever wanted to show anyone else that he cared more.
Who's your number 2?
My number 2 is Luna Lovegood.
Sweet.
I love her.
Respect that.
One more deeper reason why I think she was really awesome and important coming into Harry's life when she did was when he discovered what Thestrals were.
True, and she was like, "Yeah, it's you only see them if you've witnessed death."
Yeah, that's really deep and sad, and no one in his life at that time, other than people that he barely saw, right?
Yeah.
Really felt that.
Especially because everyone else just thought that the carriages were magic, but they were being pulled by invisible
Yeah.
dead horses.
I love Luna. Oh my god, she's so cutie. Also, right when Cedric died, and everyone's like, he's not back, and he's like, dudes, he is. And she's like, we believe you, bro. I think that provided a really big comfort to Harry at that time, and icon. I like Luna's outfits as well. I've gone to the Harry Potter Experience tour thingy in London. I've seen a lot of them, or at least replicas. They went hard on her outfits for no reason, or every reason, and I love it. So,
She's your number 2.
yeah.
Cool.
Mike, who's your number 1?
My number 1 is Hermione Granger.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Okay, wow! Mike, this is
Why
so
does that
exciting.
surprise you?
You didn't really say anything. You just let me backtrack about Hermione too. I didn't know you
Yeah,
didn't
I gotta play the long game.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my God,
Yeah, she's my
yay.
number 1. Nothing would have been resolved or gotten done without her.
They literally admitted that, didn't they? We'd be dead in 2 days without her, or something like that, Ron says.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But like the first 3 movies, she's doing everything for them. Ron's just hurling slugs, and Harry's just got rubber arms from Gilderoy.
Gilderoy.
Pain in the ass. She's also just a decent balance of being like realistic and book smart at the same time as being humorous as she aged. She grew out of being book smart as she became more of her own person and like was okay with being the book smart person at the same time. But she's fun. I enjoy it.
I'm so pleased, you guys. Wow, I don't know what I was expecting, but
Drayhead.
I was expecting something kind of niche or like someone from one movie and you being like really gung ho.
No.
And that's not
Hermione.
because of my perception of you as a person. That's just kind of what I thought was gonna happen.
I really like the lady that's pushing the candy cart in the first Harry Potter.
Yeah. Anything from the trolley?
We'll take the lot.
Yes. My number 1, because I can't really decide on things, I thought this was just a simple, she's gonna be my top. My number 1 is Molly Weasley.
How fitting.
Okay, number 1, Queen Molly. Duh. Number 2.
Not my daughter, you bitch.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. Also, she, as a mother, she must have been put through so much. Her house, her son, her husband.
I love
with-
the bias towards Harry when she's treating the Weasleys
Oh,
like
yes.
garbage, and then she's like, "Harry, you god."
She's so caring and happy Christmas, Harry. Oh, come on.
True.
Great mother to her kids, other than the Harry thing, obviously. You gotta love her. You got to love her. I don't know.
I
That-
agree.
Yeah.
I mean, the way she killed Bellatrix was pretty sweet.
Absolutely. And so deserved. I feel like throughout all 8 movies, I'm waiting for her to do something super cool and awesome, or I just want to see her more and more. And that was so great. I like that she tried to keep the happiness and keep the positivity and try and shield her kids from it.
Mm.
Even though, you know, you could argue, like, this is the real world, something big is happening. But I get that she really wanted to be like, nah, I don't want to tell them that
Yeah.
we could all die or something, you know?
Yeah.
So.
I like both the Weasley parents, but they didn't
Yes!
make my honorable. What exactly is the function of a rubber duck? I need to know. Personally, I don't know either. Besides being like the perfect prop for Ernie on Sesame Street.
Oh my gosh. I think they were both great parents for Harry to have,
True.
since he didn't have his own. I think if he didn't have his own parents, they were the ones.
Well, yeah,
Period.
they did take him in,
Well, yes, but
essentially.
they're also, they loved him, and they cared about him more than his own other family. So, yeah. Anyway.
That was
Wow.
our top 5 Harry Potter characters, everybody.
Yes.
Feel free to comment down below with your top 5s or what you think about our top 5s and our honorable mentions. Drehead lovers out there, please reach out because
Represent.
I'm the only one on this couch.
No, I support you. I just didn't understand in the beginning.
I'm the only one with him on the list.
I'm sorry, okay. As always, comment down below if you think Hermione or Molly Weasley would win in a fight. Thank you.
Is it
Wow.
report time?
Guys, I'm so excited. During our first episode, we revealed our first assignments to each other. And Mike lost rock, paper, scissors.
I did.
So
I was a fool.
Yes, he was.
I was a fool and I slipped.
I know.
I let my guard down.
That's okay. We'll see how he does this time. But because of that, he will be giving me his thoughts on his assignment first.
So my assignment was to listen to Ariana Grande's Eternal Sunshine, Brighter Days Ahead deluxe album. And I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's not typically my kind of music library, but with each song I did enjoy it more, which I guess is the case for any album.
Nice.
We Can't Be Friends is the only song I knew outside of the album.
Wow. Interesting.
But like I heard about The Boy Is Mine. So I will be giving my song by song breakdown. It's like 1 or 2 notes and then I'll read my paragraph from my music board review. Yay! Starting with End of the World intro. I thought it was a decent intro, but my immediate thought was, dang, this is Glinda thinking about Fiero.
Oof.
Just like, hey. And then Bye, Bittersweet but Better Than Repeat was my main takeaway with like the breakup and loss theme of the album.
Mm-hmm.
But like those lyrics alone were like the biggest part of that song for me.
Yeah.
Don't Want to Break Up Again definitely carries the first 2 tracks and like shows her restraint for the hard choices that are made in relationships and ending them.
Absolutely. I'm basically going to agree with everything you say because I'm very pleased.
Saturn Returns interlude. This is another Wicked reference. I feel like it alludes to Dancing Through Life.
I actually haven't even thought about how this album could relate to Wicked at all. That's actually kind of crazy.
The interlude is about indifference versus taking action, where Dancing Through Life is like, we're all gonna die, who cares?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, Fiero, you need to see a therapist. Everyone else is just like, this song kinda rips, let him cook.
Yeah, literally.
So, Eternal Sunshine, I kind of just wrote the summary of what I thought it was about, and I'm hoping I'm right, otherwise I'm a fool. But she was grappling with like the lingering emotions after moving on from former significant other.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the how soon is too soon kind of feeling for moving on and like talking to somebody new. First to say I'm sorry, all my demons, lies, but you played me like Atari. All 3 of those, I was like, dang, dude.
And you heard the little right after she said that.
Supernatural. After the previous songs kind of setting up the background for it, I read it as coming off as a headstrong jump into a new relationship
Mm-hmm.
to defy and hide the hurt from struggling to leave rather than healing properly. Just jumping in headstrong and
Yeah.
not denial, but masking and saying, this love is real. I don't care about the past.
Ooh, that's a good take.
Yeah. True story. I interpret it as her turn from feeling sorry and guilty about loss into being empowered about it.
Yeah.
If you need to play the victim, so be it. But it's over anyway.
Yes.
I was like, dang, dude.
Fun like to play for Mother Maya. Nice.
The Boy Is Mine, I felt was identical in terms of its message to Supernatural.
Yeah.
So, very similar songs. Yes, and, pardon my language, the lyrics told me, life goes on, it's time to be that bitch.
Oh.
My tongue is sacred, I speak upon what I like. Your energy is yours and mine is mine. She's like, piss off. I'm doing my shit.
Guys, I'm so happy he's reading the lyrics right now.
I did this for each song, so I knew what I was talking
Energy
about.
is yours and mine is mine.
We Can't Be Friends was the carrying baggage from their fallout and opting to be strangers rather than trying to keep a cordial facade going, with the line, only talk to me if you're ready to make things right. I Wish I Hated You was denial about breakup and loss, wishing her heart wasn't as tethered as it is.
I'm gonna talk about that later.
Okay. Imperfect for You was the humble goodbyes. We all signed up for one another, the good parts and the bad kind of thing.
Yes.
Ordinary Things. Song is definitely a love letter to Nona.
Mm-hmm.
Or Nana. I don't know how it's pronounced.
I think it's
You hit like the biggest fan when I hear what the critiques say.
you hit just like a green light.
Yeah.
When I'm stuck with
So
a
that
light.
line I read as she's doing it for her. Who cares what the critics say or do?
Yes.
And if you can't kiss goodnight, you're in the wrong place. Get out. I was like, all right, Nona, speaking truth.
It's
all
a
right.
great original ender to the
Yeah.
original album before Deluxe.
So then the intro extended afterwards, I thought was kind of passable. It carries the new weight of the previous songs on top of the original intro. But I was like, okay.
I completely agree.
Twilight Zone. I thought this one was really good.
Yeah.
It was kind of the headstrong relationship jump thing, but watching from the outside, seeing it happen with the other person, where she's like, does she know you're playing a character, not being yourself, trying to be like, I'm gonna tell her. She doesn't deserve the hurt that I have. I'm gonna tell her. That was
That one deserved to be more popular than it is right now, I think.
and then there was also the, I would say, the mild pinch of perceived guilt and self-gaslighting when she was like, was I just not me at all? And she's like doubting her perspective on everything, even though she's in the right, kind of thing. Warm, pretty good. Letting Down Her Walls. It feels like the most emotional track on the album for me, especially with I'm Cool on My Own, but Warmer in Your Arms. And like, it's nice to unravel Tears How They Travel, Happy Ones Tonight, instead of the sad ones from the breakup and everything.
Yeah.
Plus, all the lyrics just feel in line with what Nona was saying in Ordinary Things. Dandelion, sick blues opening into a bass drop.
Truth. Very
Um,
cool. Unexpected.
I like that it was laying it all on the line when she said, mean what I say, not to play. I was, speak your truth, lady. And This Is Me, if you treat me right, will be unstoppable. But I do like the double meaning, because dandelions are classified as weeds and flowers. So it's messy but beautiful kind of thing.
Guys. Wow.
Past Life, there's one line in Past Life that brought it higher than most of the other songs on the track or on the album.
What was that line, Mike?
I used to think you were the medicine, you were just Code Blue.
Whoa.
She thought that he would save her and not be the cause of more pain. Code Blue, for those that don't know, is when you're like crashing in the hospital and they need to bring you back.
Wow.
So she was like, I thought you were going to be the medicine that cured my problems, not cause significantly worse ones. Hampstead, it's kind of just her acceptance track where she's open to accepting the hurt and the love, because all of it makes each one feel stronger than by itself kind of thing. Like, Lover used to be your whole world, now just lyrics. Same person, entirely different. Would rather be swimming with you than drowning in a crowded room. Love of fans is far less intimate and desirable than real love. So that was that. I liked it.
You're gonna hate my review of Kiki's, dude. I'm so not as well spoken as you are talking about.
Good.
I'm
I'm
gonna be
optimistic
like, "What's a cute
now.
movie?" And you're like, "This is." Wow, that was.
I got words, man.
Wow, I'm so pleased. Warm, very interesting.
It's a good track. I liked it.
So, did you like Yes and? I wrote down some of my thoughts on the album so I could talk about them with Mike and you guys, and then we could further continue this conversation. They're not in any particular order because I don't roll that way. So, I did want to mention, I was actually thinking about this. First listen to this album, it came out, I think, May or June of last year.
The non-deluxe
The
version?
non-deluxe version. And when it came out, I was in a seemingly happy relationship.
Mm.
And I'm not going to say too much about it, but Supernatural and The Boy Is Mine were like, oh my gosh, great songs. At the same time of that, actually, I Wish I Hated You was always one of my favorite songs, and Saturn Returns interlude. But those two songs hit, and I did want to note that right now, they do not. I do not listen to those songs.
I Wish I Hated You reminds me of Happy For You by Dua Lipa from Radical Optimism. I must have loved you more than I knew because I'm happy for you moving on.
Mm.
It's like, yeah.
Another lyric from that, I don't think you mentioned it yet. Obviously, like, I wish I hated you. I wish that weren't true. Wish there was worse to you. I wish you were worse to me. That one, in my opinion, that's like the hardest lyric in the whole
True,
album.
because it makes the breakup harder. Where
Oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
you would have made it easier if you were an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While also acknowledging that it was still bad. I wish you were even worse. What? And I feel that way. So.
Mm.
Yeah. Cool. I do want to note sometimes when I listen to non-deluxe versions and then deluxe comes out, I can't always accept the new tracks that are now the end. Like for Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet.
Did
I
not listen to
cannot-
the deluxe.
Ooh. I cannot accept that Don't Smile is now not the last song on that album. To me, especially with the song that is now at the end of that album, it's just not complete in my opinion. One line from that song is literally, don't smile because it happened, cry because it's over. And that song is not the last song. I can't accept that.
Yeah.
And I actually like Hampstead a lot more than I did 2 weeks ago. So I can accept that being the end song. But I do love Ordinary Things, and I love a good voicemail to end out a song and an album. I cannot lie. SZA, I'm right there with you, girl. So, I actually don't love Dandelion and Past Life for some reason. I haven't been able to...
I wouldn't say they were my favorite or on like a higher tier than others, but I did like the double meaning of Dandelion. That was one thing that I was like, Molly will think that's neat.
I do. I really do. And I like the lyrics and the point of the song. A hot take though, even though I liked the bluesy intro, I actually don't think it gelled with the rest of the album.
True.
It felt very, what the fuck am I listening to? Pardon my French.
Oh my god.
And
Curse words on the pod? No way.
for Ariana's stuff, she'll bring out like a random instrument that will pop off and then she'll put it away. And I hate that. I hate when she puts it away. It was really good in the beginning and then you don't really hear it for the rest of the song, which I get, that's the point. But I really would love to see her branch out, showcasing more instruments. I actually love a lot of her acoustic versions of things. Even though I love her harmonies, the ones that she makes herself, the backing vocals, I feel like the next album she comes out with should either have less or have them be other people and not herself. Number one, because I think it's kind of overdone if she continues this. And number two, I feel like when she sings and all of herselves sing at the same time, I feel like she sounds very like and wispy, and you can almost like not hear her singing the lyrics. You should listen to it in a vehicle because some songs are harder because I feel like I'm just hearing all the
Does she sound like she's speaking parcel tone?
not
Harry Potter drop.
yeah, not 100%, but very close. And I was thinking about that today. I was actually listening to some songs and I was like, I really like what she did, but I hope that she.
Yeah.
But I love the transition from Saturn Interlude into Eternal Sunshine with the laugh. I can't listen to Eternal Sunshine without listening to Saturn first. I really like that for some reason.
I'm sure I heard it, but I did not write it down.
It's very small. It's fine. You probably did.
That may have been it. Kiki's Delivery Service by Hayao Miyazaki from Studio Ghibli.
Yes.
English dub to note.
Yes.
The Japanese sub is better, but the English dub is more accessible.
In my defense, I did not know which language to listen to it in. So Mike and I
Defaulted
have
to
already
English.
talked, and he'll tell me next time.
Yeah.
So
The next time there's a foreign language film.
I'm totally okay with listening to
Native
it
language.
in a foreign language with
Okay.
English subtitles. Yeah.
So what were your thoughts on what I consider to be Spider-Man 2 for Ghibli fans?
I did want to note before the actual movie, the build up, the experience of watching the movie as a whole. I made really good popcorn. For some reason. Guys, popcorn is really important to me and my family. And I went to my basement and watched it on a big screen with my sister, who also watched it. That was cute. We made an experience. Futon was comfy. And it was overall a good vibe. That was great. Cozy vibe too.
So what is your Letterboxd review and star rating for Kiki's Delivery Service?
In actually following with what you said, guys, I'm really bad at ranking things. So I copied Mike and I said that the movie was a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Sweet.
Mainly because I haven't seen a lot of Studio Ghibli movies to really know what is super good, what's not. And
It's my number 2, I think, of the Ghibli movies I've seen. But yeah, continue.
And I just like, I don't want to make it low on the list, and people, and so, but I thought it was better than like a 3, so 3.5, huzzah. I thought it was really chill movie overall. I
Good.
really enjoyed it. I would totally watch again. Did find myself getting a little bored, just sitting and staring and watching it, and that could be because of today's society making me think that sitting down and watching a movie and doing
It's
only
where we're
that
different.
is like, oh my gosh.
I
But
love locking in.
I do love locking in when it's interesting.
That is a bold statement to make right now.
Yeah, well, I'm sticking by it.
Okay.
Honestly, the setup got me confused because I didn't really understand how she became a witch,
It's just
why she had to go to a completely new town,
family bloodline.
how she expected to stay there. Everyone just knew she was a witch and she was leaving her friends, and then she told her family that night that she was leaving. What? I was just shook. I accepted really fast that it didn't really matter, so I'm not super upset about it now. But in the moment, I was like, huh? I just didn't get it. And then she left, and I was like, girl. She made that hay look really comfortable, though. I love how she just accepted that she got in that train and was asleep. Love cows. But
Moo.
so yeah, the setup got me a little concerned, actually. I was also confused at the fact that she went to this new town to become a better witch, but the only magic she did was fly on her broom. And then when she got it taken away, she was like, "Oh my god, I can't!" I'm like, "Girl, you weren't even doing anything. You just started to monetize your skill." Anyway,
That is
sorry.
the world.
She was also like, "I'm starting to not like flying since it became my job," when it was literally her idea, and she had only done at least 5 deliveries at that time.
Oh my
That also
God.
could have been the fact that she is a child. Kiki is 13. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, girl, speak your truth. I said Kiki was funny because at times she was well spoken and seemed really adult for her age, and then at others she was so dramatic and confusing. I mean, me too. The music was subtle but nice. Nothing really memorable in my opinion other than the intro and end songs. I love you, Joe Hisaishi.
Those 2 songs weren't him.
I know.
I love
So
both
note that
of
I'm not
them,
noting any of his stuff in this movie.
But it was-
Love you, King. I love him, and maybe not this movie, but
Town with an Ocean View slaps.
okay.
And
I trust you on that.
it was the
so
first
sorry.
Ghibli movie I watched.
I'm
So
so
that's why
sorry.
it's got a special place for me.
Yeah. I mean, okay, guys, I'm only saying the bad stuff first because that's how I roll. I'm sorry. I said the music was subtle but nice. The only character I didn't love was that bitch in the beginning who immediately was judging my girl, Kiki, trying to find her new home.
Hang on.
I was so upset.
You didn't hate the granddaughter for the fish pie grandmother? That was like, why does she send me these stupid pies? It's
Well-
my birthday. I hate that girl.
Hate. Double hate.
Loathe entirely.
Okay, but she wasn't like...
She was full of malice.
She was that one girl. If she didn't want to say anything nice to Kiki, girl could have just flown off, but she decided to stay her course and just be terrible towards her for absolutely no reason. I was so upset. You're not cool just because you don't listen to tunes while flying. I thought that was so cool. She was like, I need my tunes. I don't know how that cat stayed on there. That was such a cute vibe. I think that was the cutest thing. And then they made her little sign with her little broom and her little radio and her little kitty. I was like, that is so cute. I was also going to say that Gigi was a little annoying to me, just a little bit. But I heard
It's
it was because of
the Phil Hartman voice cast.
yeah. But I'm happy that he found his baby mama, Queen, so cute and
He
little
also got to
babies.
chill with Jeff.
Yes, love Jeff.
Jeff the dog. Truly.
I really liked the town she ended up staying at, the town that she ended up choosing.
Swedish, but
They're-
Japanese.
Yes, there were a lot of people with really colorful outfits, and the city on a hill surrounded by ocean really reminded me of Lucca, and or the
Porto Rosso?
I love a good plentiful bakery run by my girl Osono, who just let a random child that could fly on a broomstick live in her house, no questions asked. I also really like that after she saved Tombo, and the credits were rolling, that they showed more of what happened afterwards. I love that.
Oh, like her letter to her parents.
Yes, and where she ended up staying, and I just like when it shows their lives after things happen. And there were geese involved. I love them.
True.
I also liked, I forgot the name of that woman though. I forgot to write her name down. The one that lived in the log house and then came to visit her.
The artist.
Yeah.
I forget her name also.
I think she showed up and took her out of that area at the best time. I think that's one of the best things you can do, especially since she was in a rut. She had someone supporting her. We saw this one lady in the beginning and she was just doing her thing, and then she came back right when Kiki needed her. And I thought that was really great and awesome, and everyone should have someone like her in their lives.
Yeah. My main dislike with the movie is how fast it ends. But then there's the closure and the credits that you're like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Gets a pass.
I also thought it was funny that she got a lot of credit for saving him when everyone was also in that blimp.
Yeah.
I also think that Tombo was cute. I just think bro couldn't take a hint. And my poor girl, she was so well spoken to everyone else around her and then couldn't say anything around him. And I was like, no. And that's how it is, I guess. When she was screaming about being a fat pancake, it really reminded me of Lilo screaming about tuna. No more tuna! It sounded just like her. And I was like, whoa.
Watch the English dub of Spirited Away, because the voice of Chihiro is Lilo.
Cool.
Yeah.
Seeing a bakery so plentiful, and I love using that word plentiful. So full. I loved it. So, I do. I love the look of her house and the
Do you like
plants.
her red bow?
I love her red bow. I love her look. I loved when that little girl copied her look. I love the art, how it all looked.
I'm glad you enjoyed the movie.
I did, and I would totally watch more Studio Ghibli movies. Thank you.
Yup. And guess what?
Now dig on this.
All right. Oh, I
We're
have
gonna-
rock, paper, scissors now. All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Dang, literally I lost the opposite way this time.
True. I put scissors instead of paper.
So, I actually was going to give you a choice. Then I decided that I don't want to give you a choice. So.
Thanks! I appreciate that very much.
Mainly because.
What is it?
Sorry. Oh my god, does that sound terrible? Was that like
No.
really mean? Okay. Mike, you are going to be listening to Cowboy Carter by Beyonce.
This ain't Texas.
Yeah, for real. I love when an album has a story throughout, and when albums go, one song goes into the next song. And I think you do too, because of you like Billie Eilish's album. I don't know how much you'll like this one compares to that
Yeah,
one.
the lead in from
Yeah.
Skinny to Lunch. Yeah.
And I do want to say, I want you to think about this one in comparison kind of to Billie's, because a lot of people thought that Billie's album should have won Album of the Year. That is your assignment.
Cool.
How do you feel?
Okay. I'm okay with music.
Cool.
Music's cool.
Okay.
Yours is music too.
Let's go.
Yours is an indie pop album.
Ooh.
The album is Antisocialites by Always.
Whoa.
I heard them for the first time during my first semester at local college in the art studio. It was the music that one of the upperclassmen put on when they were working in their studio.
Thank you, upperclassmen.
Yes. I think it will appeal to the nature of Eternal Sunshine. Like, it's a similar vibe in terms of the lyrics, but the tone and the like upbeat nature of it, not Eternal Sunshine. It feels like a dreamy, ethereal indie pop album. And all of the songs are Windows Down Sunset songs.
Shit.
But
10-4. I will note that. I will keep that noted.
copy that. So similar to last week where we each gave one song for the audience to listen to as a means of being included in the podcast as the community and discussion. Last week we did songs that are for Windows Down, Sunset Drives, chill vibe. This song that I'm going to give for the audience this week, I showed Molly for the first time last week. So this song is also a Windows Down Sunset vibe, but very upbeat. This song is Disco Frog by Kermit from the 1979 Sesame Disco album.
I don't think I can say a song.
Why?
Because that's so good. Guys, I have been missing out on something my entire life, and I fear that it has been Sesame Street Disco. In terms of upbeat, dancey type songs, I don't know. To me, it's a Windows Down song. I actually shared this with Mike last week as well. The song, even though it's not Sesame Street Disco, it is I Feel For You by Shaka Khan. I did want to mention, I didn't say it in the beginning, in my what am I listening to this week, but I'm taking an online R&B vocals class with Berkeley Online. So just know that I might be bringing some newer R&B artists to this podcast. And Shaka Khan was one of the artists that was in the original Welcome to This Course. Here are some of the people that we're going to be listening to. So, although it's not Sesame Street Disco, another great song that your parents probably know.
Well, that about wraps it up for episode 2 of the 4M podcast.
Yeah. Just a reminder, we do have Instagram and Facebook and Letterboxd, and we know how to figure out Music Board now. So go find us on there. We're the 4M podcast on all platforms.
I believe on Music Board it is the 4M podcast 17 because I couldn't make a custom username.
That's okay.
But we got it as close as we could.
We can be the 4M podcast 17. Check back in 2 weeks. We'll be here to give you guys our thoughts on our assignments. If you have any song suggestions, album suggestions, movie suggestions, anything, please let us know. Feel free to comment down below or DM us. Whatever is easiest for you guys.
We hope you had fun. We certainly did.
I had a great time. Did you have a great time?
I did.
Bye.